Hello, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the Working Class Guide to Getting Rich. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Pete Grosso, also known as Pocket Pete. Hey now. I am the broker and owner of Remax Integrity Leaders. I'm also the co-owner of Visionary Ventures, an investment company. But that's not where I came from. And where I came from is why I'm here. You see, I started as a union iron worker. Let's show them that picture. Yeah, that was me up there. Here, let's show them the next one. If you don't know what a union iron worker is, those are the guys sitting on a beam over Rockefeller Center. It's an amazing job. In fact, I was actually in that photo. It's hard to see there, but yeah, can you zoom in? There I am. A lot of people don't know that. I love that job. Here, we can go to the next one. That was me. I loved it. I loved it every month except for February. February sucked. But when you're in a union, when you're in a group like heavy construction, like being a police officer, that we're gonna have some police officers on stage today, we're gonna have some firefighters on stage today. When you're in that group, when you're in that brotherhood, it's a family. It's something that is one of the most bonding things you can have outside of your family. And I loved it, and we worked hard. It was dangerous, it was fun, but man, it was hard. You get up in the morning, get at 4 in the morning, you drive to get to work, to start early, then you sit in your car all the way home to 6 p.m. to fall asleep in your soup. And I busted my ass. I did everything I could to be the hardest working person on the job site. In fact, one time when I was an apprentice, the foreman looked at me and pointed at a bucket of bolts. He goes, "Get that down there." He's pointing about a quarter mile away. So, me being the gorilla that I am, I picked up this bucket of bolts. It weighed about 225 pounds. All right, so there's some ironworkers in the room, so they know the truth. It's about 180 pounds. There's a 180-pound bucket of bolts. I picked it up, I threw it on my shoulder, and I carried it a quarter mile to that spot in the job site. It hurt. I wouldn't be seen letting go of it. My shoulder hurt, my body hurt, the pressure on me was great, and I put one foot in front of the other, and I kept going, because that's what we do. And I dropped it in front of him with pride, breathing heavy, and he looked at me and said, "Why didn't you take the truck?" See, there was an easier way to do things. But I just thought brute force and just getting up and grinding was the way to do it. Because that's what's ingrained in us. But I was going to be something in that career. I even thought I was going to be part of the political establishment there. I had aspirations to be great there. Until one day, I'm working on Citi Field, Met Stadium, and I'm walking across a beam, and I was walking across some decking that was supposed to be tied down, and it wasn't, and I fell. I fell 18 feet to a lower roof, and I broke my ankle, my leg, and my back. And I'm laying there at the second highest point of the stadium with a broken leg, knowing something's very wrong. My ironworker brothers all gathered around, somebody slid down they were building the scoreboard, they slid down off the column. My friend Sal got down on a knee, he looked at me, because we're brothers. And with love in his eyes, he looked at me and he said, Pete, are you going to eat lunch? That's our humor. We have dark humor, which Vanessa learned at a funeral on Monday. But really, we cared. But I was wheeled off. So they had to actually use a crane to lift me up, by the way. They put me in a cage, lifted me up with a crane, dropped me down the Pitcher's Mound City Field. That was my last day as an iron worker. And I knew, when I was laying in that hospital bed, that was it. I didn't know where my future was going. I didn't know if I'd have a future. And I'm not embarrassed to tell you I shed a tear in that hospital bed because I had plans. I had aspirations. And now, as far as I knew, I was going nowhere. And for 3 years, I had surgeries. I walked with a cane. I struggled to have self-worth, to have a purpose. I weighed 360 pounds at some point, and I didn't know if I'd ever have a place on this earth to create value for people. I'm going to hide that now. But you can see, things can change, right? Things can change. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what I could be. And it just happened to be during the financial crisis, and real estate was the topic. So I delved in and I taught myself real estate. I actually hacked into Yale University. They put their classes on iTunes, so I hacked in and I gave myself a Yale education. So they don't know it, but I'm Yale educated. And I found a way to start investing in real estate. And I went to Detroit. I started buying houses in Detroit. I started buying houses in Rochester. I was buying houses at $500 a piece. There were houses there that were trading for iPhones. And I did everything I could to try to create value, to create a purpose. And it was a grind. It was a battle. I was failing. I was failing so hard because I had the same hustle of that kid that grabbed that bucket of bolts and carried it as far as he carried it. But I didn't know there was an easier way. I didn't know that there are people that can help. And that's why I'm here today. I'm here today to show you that there's more than just your labor, your body that can create wealth for you. Rick, can we play the next?
Daddy is the sweetest daddy in the world. Daddy is the most handsome. The smartest. The most clever. The kindest. He is my Superman. Daddy wants me to do well at school. Daddy is just great, but he loves.
Okay, good. I'm good, Rick. Yeah. So, if you didn't get emotional when you saw that, you're a psychopath, by the way. I had to watch that 1,000 times so I'm not crying on the stage in front of you guys here today. Because I'm sure all of you in here identify with that video. I identify with it twice. I see my mom there. Hi, Mom. There's my mother there. Yeah. And I see myself as a dad there. There's my daughter Stella. Hey, Stella. You're looking beautiful. Yeah. So, I know my mom struggled. I know that she put everything to the side for herself to make sure that I was provided for. I know that she went without so I could play Nintendo. I know that. I know that she didn't make me know that that was happening. And I know that everybody else in this room is doing that too. I know our parents did that. I know that I do that. I know that when Stella, yeah, we can pull the next slide, and Peter, let me show you my son too. This is my family right here. That's Vanessa, that's Mia, that's Stella, that's me. And let me show you Peter. I can't hold Peter down too long, so there he is right there. But I know when Stella walks in and she's talking to me and she's telling me a story and she's all excited, sometimes I'm half in it. I'm half in it because I love her, Stella, I love you, and I want to listen and I want to be part of it, but also I'm struggling with all the stresses and the burdens and the fears of not being able to provide for her at the same time. And we have to split our attention in half because it's on our shoulders. And we put it not only on our shoulders, but we put it on our bodies. And that's what we need to talk about here today. We need to transfer it not just from our bodies, but we're going to teach you how to use your W-2 income to create wealth, to create freedom. I know this is called the Working Class Guide to Getting Rich, but this is about safety. This is about creating the possibility of being all in, of being able to pay attention, of not having this burden on your shoulders and on your back and thinking, okay, everything's okay now, but what if? What if I lose that job? What if I get in a car accident? What if I get hurt on the job? I got hurt on the job, and I didn't know this stuff. I'm here because I learned this stuff. It took me 20 years to put this together, to learn this. If I knew then what I knew now, it would be a totally different story. But I was put on Social Security disability. I was given workman's comp. That's all I had. It wasn't much. And to be quite honest, a lot of my friends were jealous. And everyone told me, stay on it, ride it out. It's a good life. It's free money. And while they were jealous, and I understand why they were jealous, because they're waking up every day, going to work, not knowing if that paycheck's going to come in tomorrow. And I have one coming in, but I didn't have value. I didn't have the ability to do good for other people, to have a purpose in this world. So I rejected it. I gave it back, which, by the way, it's actually very hard to do. It's incredible how hard it is to give the government money back. It's insane. But I rejected it so that I could take a chance on myself and maybe get up here today. But here, look at this. Can you believe this? So if I can do it, if that guy, that kid standing on a beam can do it, you all can do it. I guarantee it. What do we have next? That's me. What do we have next here? Yeah, let's drive it home with that. This is something else that resonates.
I got 3 extra mops and pieces Darlene moved back in. Roseanne started buying me pillows because we didn't have the money to fix her knee. And now I got 20 grand with water damage. I spent my whole life hanging on by my fingertips. I'll never got enough to worry. I was gonna make it okay. Because that's my job. Well, now I can't promise that anymore. So yeah, it makes me sick. But I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to take care of my family. Because I'm old, I'm tired, and I'm not sure how much longer I can hold on.
All right. Yeah. That's the middle class in a nutshell, right? That is us getting up, grinding our bodies, doing whatever it takes, and just making it. Doing whatever it takes, and then getting pushed back 6 feet, right? And then getting up and doing it until our bodies give up. That's what we do. And then when we're presented with another way, it seems wrong. It seems impossible. It seems like it's for somebody else. And the reason why is we're conditioned for 2 things. One, we have to put food on the plate and a roof over the table. And we are conditioned to protect against the downside. Don't try anything I don't understand. Don't do anything new, because if it doesn't work, then I won't be able to provide. And that's my job. So we don't do it. We say no. We tell a story about why it's not going to work, or why it can't happen, why it's not going to happen for me. It works for him. It works for them. But it's not going to work for us. And the what if. But there's another what if. The what if is if you don't. And you're relying on your body. You're relying on your labor to make it all work. And we can't go 100% the whole time. We have to start transferring that burden onto other things, and we're going to do it with assets. The other thing that holds us back, and it held me back forever, in fact, I just let this go, is that our success is tied to our sweat. It's tied to falling asleep in our soup at night. It's tied to working 50 hours. The boss gave me more overtime. I got to work this long. I did it myself. I had that mindset up until a year ago. That I start working at 5 a.m., I wouldn't stop until 11 p.m. Because I'm only going to be successful if I grind. We tied that into ourselves because we know time is money, right? Our bodies transfer time into money, but it doesn't have to be that way. We can take the pickup truck. We don't have to carry the bolts. There's another way. And once we let go of that, we can create real wealth and real value for our lives, a legacy for our kids, something that keeps paying dividends that you don't have to wake up and sweat for. That doesn't mean that you're not worth it if you're not sweating. I just learned that. I grinded my ass off for 20 years trying to figure out how to build a real estate business. I failed and I failed and I failed, and I got up and I did it again. And I got up and I did it again, and I figured out how to do it, and I did it the same way that dumb kid picked up that bucket of bolts and dragged it a quarter mile with just guts and tenacity. And just this year, I realized I could have learned it all and did it all in 1 year. I could have took the pickup truck. Vanessa and I hired mentors. We joined masterminds. We got around people that knew how to do it. I didn't have to do it alone. I didn't have to grind alone. It wasn't necessary. I spent 20 years building the skill set and the brilliance that we have, and 1 year realizing it could only have taken 1 year. And I'm here today to tell you, you can do it too. You can compress time. You can have that 20 years in a year. You just have to find that mentorship. You just got to find the people around you that believe in you. You got to find the people around you that believe in themselves. And guess what? We're right here. This is it. This is the blue-collar empire. I'm here to help you compress time. And I'm not going to do it alone. We have our speakers here today, and we have this whole community to help each other grow. When we leave here today, you're going to have a path. You're going to have places that you can go, and we're going to build a community that changes the mindset of the middle class and creates opportunity so that we don't have to live like Dan Connor anymore. As much as I love him, because he's one of my characters on TV. We don't have to do that anymore. We're going to do it together. Welcome to the Founders Room. You did it. All right. I'm going to teach you guys some stuff now. All right. So, first and foremost, real estate investing is not one thing. When you say, Pete, I want to flip a house. Pete, I want to buy rental properties. Pete, I want to wholesale. It's not that thing. It's broken up into three things, because each thing, there's finding the opportunity. Each one of these things is a skill set in itself, and people create careers and income from those things alone. So once you learn what it takes, you may be a little overwhelmed, and then you can go, you know what, I'm just going to pick one. Because if you find the deal, I promise you, everything else will come to you. If you have the team, guess what? The deals will come to you and the finance will come to you. If you have the finances, everybody loves you, right? So, and I'll teach you how to find the finances. So finding the deal can start with your team, with the community, with your union, with the people around you. You get to just tell people, I buy houses. Right? Right, Dan? That's it. Yeah, Dan, the home buyer man. So you just got to tell people, I buy houses. I buy them cash, and I want to solve people's problems. And you just take it from there. We'll guide you on what to do from there. But the first thing to do is you can't be shy. You got to let people know that you buy houses, and you're ready to help people with any problems. There's a ton of marketing that you can do. We're gonna dive in deeper with all that, but you start by just saying, I buy houses. And you let everyone know if they have anybody that's in distress, in a situation, looking to buy a house, you start there. Or you just start looking. If you want to flip houses, that's how you start. If you want to buy rental properties, which is something that you're going to do in your life, you just make sure the numbers work. You can find them a number of ways. You always tell people I buy houses, but you're always on the hunt. You're always on the network to make sure that you're looking for the thing that fits. Building a team, we're going to teach you how to do that. Building a team is basically knowing all the people that know how to get things done and do them constantly. Okay? So that's attorneys, lenders, title people, things like that. You want those connections. If you don't have them, you're going to join our group, or you're going to join the local RIA, or you're going to talk to any one of the investors or our sponsors here tonight, because they have the contacts. Ask any of them. We have Chris Dolger here. We have Cliff Delisle. They're the best attorneys that exist. There's really nobody better. So you're already here. Take their card. Okay? When you find that deal, you know who to call, because having the right people makes or breaks a difference. It really does. And then finances. You get to learn how to find the money. You don't need money. I'm going to talk through a couple of things that we've done, but you don't need money, especially if you have the deal in the team. The money will find you. The money wants to find those deals. They want to finance them. So all you need to do is those two, and then we'll show you to get them financed. Or guess what? You can be the finance. If you have cash or equity in your house and you don't want to do the first two, you can be a lender. You can network with flippers and renter and people that want to buy rentals, and you can lend them money and make 10, 12% on your money. How much money are you making where your money's sitting now? 1%? So if you have, like, we have people that have taken equity out of their houses to loan to us. We have people that just had extra cash and wanted to make 10%. You get to sit back, relax, and just collect a check. So you can do any of those things and build wealth. Hit the next slide. Okay. This is a quick flip calculator. You have to, the most important thing I'm going to tell you to do is that you have to be disciplined. Once you understand what to do, you got to stay inside the box of the plan, the system. Because if you get excited, I just want to flip a house, I just want to get my first one, I just want to do it, you're going to put yourself in a situation. So what we do is we literally punch it into the spreadsheet, we make the offer, we go on with our lives. It's very simple. So, and all I need is the after repair value, the taxes, what I want to profit, which is usually 10% of the ARV, and the rehab costs. And there's my offer, right there. That's what I'm offering. I'll explain all. Again, it's not a participatory class, Dad. So all I want to do is make that offer and go on my life. That's the most important thing, is having that discipline. So we're gonna set you up with the tools that it takes to make that offer. When Remodel Rob and I first started, we'd go to 30 houses and make 30 offers on the front lawn. And then we just keep going until we got one. And sometimes we got two. So you just want to stay inside the box. Hit the next one. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is the next video. But hold on, don't hit it yet. I want to dispel the idea that when you're buying a house that's in distress, that you're taking advantage of people. Every time I sit with a family that's in distress, I am giving them all of their options. I am trying to create the win for them, and I'm sitting with them with cannolis, and I'm getting to know what their actual problems are. That's how you're going to create value for other people and build wealth for yourself. Is if you hear about somebody that has a problem in their house or with their house, or they're losing their house, or that it's in such disrepair that they don't know what to do. You hear their story. You see how you can help their lives. That's how you win. With this particular house, I sat with these people and I laid out exactly the way that they could put $70,000 more in their pocket. I said to them, you don't want to sell to me. If you want to sell to me, I showed them my spreadsheet. This is how it works. I go, we're a few steps away from making it what I call lendable, and we could put it on the market and you can make $70,000 more. I said, Pete, we don't want to go through that. And they end up selling me the house and a classic car. You don't know what they want or what's right for their lives. But as long as you sit with them and you care about them and you lay out exactly what their options are, once you know what their options are, everybody wins. That's the goal. You want to walk, and so if you're looking at a rental and or a flip, you just want to know your numbers. You're going to walk through, know what the rehab's going to cost. You do your spreadsheet, and then you sit and you listen. And you get to know exactly what it is their problem is. And then you put that deal together for them. And I'm going to show you a job that Rob and I did here, just real quick. So this is the house we bought. This is the one that reflected the spreadsheet. Now, there's the kitchen. That's what we turned it into. Great job, Rob. So we bought this house for $400,000. We used a hard money loan. We paid them, I think, 11% on the loan, and then, which now I think we have it at 10%, and then we borrowed the rest of the money. We had no money out of pocket. So really all I had to do was find the people that need help, build the relationship, and build relationships with the people around me that trust me, that know I know what I'm doing. So I actually sat with this woman. The most expensive thing was the cannolis. The rest was me just sitting with them, getting to know them, putting the deal together, and setting up the loan, calling my private lenders saying, hey, I have another one. Do you want to invest? Yes. Done. And we were able to help this woman. And hold on, we're going to hit play for that in a second. So we helped this woman who loved her house, but she never got to finish it. So we actually got to buy that house, redo it, and we brought it back to her. Can we play the next video? We brought her back to it to show her what we did to her house. So if you're telling me that when people buy houses for cash, that they're taking advantage of people, it's just not true.
You know, we had what you mentioned when your house on school,
Right?
and for whatever reason, they never got to that point.
Okay.
And then you walk in,
That's it.
and it's more beautiful than you can imagine. And this is my poetry, this is my funeral. The house is another day back for again.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So nobody's stealing from anybody here. Oh, what's happening here? So nobody's stealing from anybody here. We're making lives better, and we're making our own lives better. And we're building wealth for our families. And the overarching theme that I want you to understand here is it's about something you're already doing. Everything I'm talking to you about here today is about relationships, right? It's not as complicated as you think. It's really just forming the relationships. I have the relationships with the attorneys, with the contractors. I don't know how to do anything. I literally have no skills. I'm not even good at math, okay? But I have all the people in my life that trust me. I have the team around me that make sure that I'm safe and that we can get it done. You don't have to figure out these complicated notions. You just have to find the people to get you to the finish line. You got to find the people that know that you buy houses, and that you want to sit with people and solve their problems. You want to sit with that person and build a relationship and figure out who of your network and who of your people, and a lot of times sometimes it's one central person. I got a bunch of people out there that call me and go, I just sat with somebody, what do I do, right? But you want to sit with them and get to know what exactly is their problem. You're gonna take that, and then you're gonna get the attorney, you're gonna get the contractor, you're gonna get the title company, you're gonna get the lenders, you're gonna call all your relationships and put it all together. It's just an orchestra. It's not complicated. That's why this is all possible. Wait till you see what Matt and Sal tell you they can do, and then Vanessa's gonna just kill it. But it's not complicated. It's not about the money. The money will find you. We're gonna show you all the tricks to get the money. Are you comfortable building relationships? And I know you are, right? So now you just gotta figure out how to organize that, and that's what we're gonna help you do, okay? What else do I have in here? Okay, so I'm gonna just show you some analysis of what's possible. This was actually for a family that I'm not gonna mention, but it's in here today. I actually ran this scenario, but they were selling a house. They called me and they said, Pete, we think we wanna buy another house. And I sat with them and I said, maybe, and I'm a realtor by the way, and I'm like, maybe you don't wanna sell this house. Maybe you wanna keep it. Maybe you wanna keep it as a rental. I'll run an analysis for you to see if it's more valuable for you to keep it or to sell it and buy your next place. So can you hit the next slide for me? That's the difference. So if they sold and bought in 15 years, this is where they end up. They do pretty well. But if they kept their house and they bought and they created two loans, so they refied their house to get a down payment on the next house, bought the next house, and they're using the original house as a rental property. And the next slide, I don't remember how much it is. $470 extra $1,000 they're worth from just keeping a house, from doing nothing different but keeping the house they're in and going to the house that's going to make them happy. They're going to be $470,000 richer. That's the power of leveraged depreciation. When you buy an asset with a loan, you are creating wealth that you cannot fathom. It's so simple. If I buy a house we'll keep it simple, 20% down, and so now I'm in it for, let's say it's $500,000, I'm in it for $100,000, and it appreciates 5%. It appreciates 5% on that $500,000, which means that, what is that, $25,000? So that's Dan says yes. That's a 25% return on your money. Your cash on cash return is 25%. And that's the simple way. We're going to show you tricks to make that 100%. Let's see what the next slide says. Hey, that's Gregory. Gregory's in the room. Gregory's 21 years old. Gregory, behind him, at 21 years old, it's his first house. Yeah. There's 2 other rental properties in that house, plus he's renting out the garage. He's out of pocket, I think he said $600 a month, at 21 years old. He bought the house, we helped him get the house. He needed $30,000 out of pocket. Let's see what the next slide is. I think I remember. Okay, so he put $30,000 in, and if it appreciates 5% or 3%, I don't even know what I did it on, but let's say it's 3% or 5%, it's going to go up $32,000, the appreciation. So his $30,000 investment is creating a net worth of over 100%. That's leverage appreciation. That's why everybody needs to get into this as soon as possible. And because he's house hacking and he's living in the house for next to nothing, he's saving for the next one. So where is he going to be in 10 years? Right? Next slide. What's even cooler is you can use the flip strategy to buy rental properties. If you have those conversations and you make a deal to buy the house, you can actually be in it for $0. You can buy the house that's in distress, fix it up, rent it, and refinance it, and pull sometimes all the cash you put into it out and own it as an asset. And be $0 in, which means that you're right back to square one. You can do it all over again. You can stack houses. So if you were to buy a house every 3 years, that would be your net worth in equity in 20 years. In fact, I had ChatGPT give me an equation, go back 20 years. If I bought a house every 3 years, 20 years ago, what would my equity be? That's it, $3 million. Do you think you can figure out how to buy, especially when you leave here, if you can ask yourself, how can I buy a house at least every 3 years? You're setting yourself up for a very comfortable life. And that's all I'm asking you to do is ask yourself how. Don't tell yourself what could go wrong. Don't tell yourself why you can't do it. Ask yourself, how can I do it? How can I create the type of change, the type of trajectory that I want in my life? And then we'll help you get there. Thank you. All right, let's hit another. Okay, so before we move on, I'm working on, it's going to be out soon, the blue collar AI. So everybody scan this and put your information if you want to be part of, one, you can opt in to be part of this group. And we're going to have meetups and get-togethers. But also, I'm going to create a text phone number, and so you can call a bot and you can text the bot and ask about real estate questions. And I'm going to drop in all the knowledge in there, and you can have conversations with it right there. Okay? Oh, there's an error message? All right, is no one on Wi-Fi? That's probably is that the problem? Okay. All right, so I'll solve it, or you're all screwed. Okay. Okay. All right. I want to thank our sponsors. These are all our sponsors. They're an amazing resource. So everyone seek out all the people here and thank them for putting this on. All right.